Hey, folks, Gun Prom is coming to the Inland Empire. Get your dresses and suits ready, dust off those dancing shoes, and get ready to celebrate and support the Second Amendment. You can join us and other Second Amendment supporters on November 12th at 2022 at March Air Museum in Riverside. Celebrate with delicious food, drinks, dancing, and you get to see a few airplanes. Don't miss your chance to win some amazing prizes, too, and support the Second Amendment at the same time. Get your tickets now at gunprom.com. Okay, we got Karla Talley. We're going to bring her on, but first, we're going to let Mike just kind of throw a little plug out. He's running for Escondido City Council. How can people help you?
So if you go to Mike, the number 4, and then d1.com, you can. There's a links there where you can donate to my campaign, which I need help because I'm running as an independent. And then, or if you want to volunteer, I need people to kind of help me. What I've been doing most of my work really with that is I'm going door to door, just knocking on doors,
Right.
asking people what they need, what they want fixed, what they like and don't like about Escondido. But if you want to volunteer, I need people that can go around putting door hangers on and just so people can see my lovely face and
How's the reception by knocking on doors?
Honestly, that's almost what I love most, even with like the SD Must stuff, is just talking to people. I love going out with the people and being with my neighbors and everyone else. But yeah, it's been really good. Most people are glad I'm there. They say thank you when I leave. It's very Escondido. I love Escondido. That's why I moved there. I mean, everyone there it's like a community. It doesn't matter what race you are or what language you speak or what church you go to or any of that. It's like you realize this is your neighbor, and
That's right.
You get that connection right away. It's amazing.
And you got a really good car show too.
Oh yeah, the Cruising Grand is awesome. Yeah, I mean that's been going on for a while. I mean, I wish I had an old car. I'm actually probably going to try to buy it.
You got an 04 Jeep. You're halfway there,
I
brother.
got an old Jeep Grand Cherokee, but I mean, I actually want to get an older truck, like an old pre-73 truck, and just
I might have something for you. We'll talk off air.
Yeah,
I gotta
we'll talk
go
off
look
air because
I gotta go look at a '69 3/4 ton Chevy
that's
Monday.
Nice.
Yeah. Hey, let's talk to Karla Talley. She's throwing a party.
I'm here. How is everyone?
We're doing wonderful. So the party's getting ready to rock and roll?
Oh, it's all coming together. I can't wait.
So tell the folks why they should drive all the way to the Inland Empire.
Because it's going to be Inland Empire's event of the year.
See, I knew you had a good excuse.
Yes, it's going to be the best event. We're going to have Cowboy West Productions serving up some great barbecue. The wine trailer will be out. They'll be there to serve up drinks. Riverside Indoor Shooting Range is bringing their smokeless shooting simulator out for some target shooting fun.
Nice.
And then we have some great auction items up for grabs. We have an all-inclusive Caribbean 5-day trip for 2 adults, a 5-day trip to Cabo and Costa Rica, and my favorite is the Kentucky Bourbon Experience in Lexington for 2 adults. That includes a 3-night stay at a 4-star hotel, a private tour of 3 of the boutique distilleries, tastings included, a private executive car with a driver, and dinner at Jeff Ruby Steakhouse.
Wow.
Darn. That's kind of...
Yes.
Yeah, that's worth it right then and there.
I have some family that did that, and
Did you?
they said it was awesome.
I bet.
Going to all the
little
distilleries. Yeah, there's some cool opportunities out there.
Yeah, no kidding. So when's the date of your event?
November 12th, and it's at 5 p.m., and we're holding it at March Air Museum in Riverside on Van Buren.
And that is a pretty cool museum as well, if you're into aviation.
It's beautiful, and that's one of the things we asked them to leave the planes in the building for us so that we can enjoy that.
Sure. I know. I love it. I love going to aviation museums. I think they're the coolest things ever. So how'd you become the executive director? What, you didn't show up to a meeting?
Well, that's a good question, because when I joined as a member, I had no intentions of being the executive director. But then my predecessor decided that she was going to move out of state with her husband because he had a job transfer. And I knew everything was going to fall on the shoulders of Michael Schwartz. So I offered to do some back office stuff. And over the few weeks that I was doing that, Michael and Wendy were handing me more and more work. And after about a month and a half or so, he's like, well, why don't you become the executive director? You're already doing almost everything. And so I did, and I did it part-time for a while and realized that it needed to be a full-time job. So last July, I resigned from my job as a DoD contractor with the Navy of 28 years and started doing this full-time.
Wow. You must have that same disease Schwartz has, because he was heavy duty into the banking world, doing really well, not having any problems. Next thing you know, he quits his job, and now he started San Diego County gun owners, and so you guys got to quit going to lunch together. I think he's infectious.
Well, it's a worthwhile cause. Our Second Amendment is very important, and I firmly believe that if we allow our Second Amendment rights to be removed, all the other ones will follow shortly, and that should worry everyone, not just gun owners.
Well, it's kind of like our guest that's in studio. He lives in Escondido, and he realized that he needs to do something. So he's running for city council. Has he ever ran for public office in the past? No, that we're aware of. Well, he said he lost.
Well, we need to be a government of the people,
Yeah. But he lost when he was in high school. But that's his only defeat so far.
It's not a government of career politicians. Right?
Yeah, it's not supposed to be.
I hear a lot of people doing that now.
Yeah.
It's wonderful.
Well, I think, much as I hated COVID, I think that this COVID was one of the best things that could have happened, getting people off the couches, whether it be school board, city council, or what have you. But what I want to do is I want to see people like Mike to go in and change the mindset of the council meetings to where the public, is welcome to come to the meetings.
They should be more involved.
More involved, because the more people that join up with like-minded causes, the more we can get done.
If you go to some small town councils in like the middle of America or even the middle of California, almost the whole town shows up. It's a population of like 100 people and like 90 of them are there.
Yeah, exactly.
Because they want to take part in what's going on in their town. And like, I wish people were more like that here, because there's a lot of, what people feel like a small town where everybody.
Yeah, but they don't want to. They don't want to invite you because they can get a lot more.
No, because then they can't slip things under the radar like they've been doing.
Right.
So now that you've dove into this, do you see going up the ladder or just staying right where you're at and just keep making, the Inland Empire better and better and better?
Well, right now my concentration is just making the Inland Empire better and better.
Right.
Once I feel that I can't make a difference in my position, then I may go up further.
Right.
But as long as I'm making a difference here, I'm content.
So what's consistent of the Inland Empire? What is it?
Inland Empire is Riverside, San Bernardino County.
Okay.
San Bernardino, of course, we know is the largest county in the nation. Riverside is, I believe, the 12th or 13th largest. So it encompasses a vast footprint of cities and stuff. So we have, I believe it's like 73 cities in each county.
Wow.
It's huge.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
Huge.
Well, and it's so much unincorporated land there, too.
Right.
Yeah. So I take it you shoot?
I do.
Okay.
And that's a funny story because up until about 12, 13 years ago, I didn't.
Really?
I was one of these, I guess, conversion people that when my daughter was young, she's in her 30s now, but when she was little, I didn't even want her to have a squirt gun because I felt like it was kind of like a gateway thing.
Mm-hmm.
15 years ago, I found myself a single mother with a teenage daughter living on my own for the first time in 20 years. And I didn't feel as invulnerable as I did when I was in my late teens and early 20s.
I'll tell you what, hold that thought. We got to take a quick break because we have a rude board op. He decided to play music right in the middle of a great edge of your chair story, but we'll do it when we come back. All right, you got to read something, Sunshine. Oh, my gosh, the work you have to do.
Helping pro-gun officials get elected is one of the top things we do around here. Let's learn more with Karla Talley.
You got it. But first, A lot of companies are so frustrated with their websites. Looks old, out of date, it's not getting customers. But guess what? Sage Tree gets it. Since 2005, Sage Tree has been helping companies with websites that look great, work great, and get leads. Stop being frustrated by your website and get one that you're proud to share. Contact Sage Tree today to get a website that makes the phone ring. Getting started is super easy. 866-728-9100, 866-728-9100, and let's get your website fixed today. All right, we got Karla Talley back again, and so a couple of questions Mike had asked us, and Karla, welcome back. So why do you focus so much on local elections, especially, endorsing candidates?
Well, we are playing the long game because let's face it, when people get into politics, they don't just start out on the school board to stay on the school board. So we go out, we elect local politicians, we help them get into local offices, and then we help kind of push them up so that by the time they get to Sacramento and Washington, we have a friendly Second Amendment person in office that we can rely on.
Gotcha. Makes perfectly good sense.
Yep.
Yeah, it's like people don't just start off as governor, or in Congress.
Didn't do any worse.
No, they start off on a commission or like a committee, or they start off at water board or school board.
Well, they got to get their feet wet and just see what this
Yeah.
is going to be all about.
Well, then they get name recognition,
Right.
and they can prove they can do the job.
Well, and they got to prove themselves to
Yeah.
the public. I mean,
Right.
excuse me.
And we already have some really great organizations that work at the state and federal level, and we were lacking on the local level and saw, an opening, and that's where we kind of stepped in and said, hey, let's start here and push them up.
Right.
It's like the farm league for baseball. They start
Exactly.
off AAA
Yes.
and then work their way to the majors.
And then when they see a superstar, they go, ooh, we got to bring this
yeah,
guy,
then they just
guy
push
or
them up to
girl
the
up.
top. Yeah.
All right. Well, that's interesting. So how do officials get endorsed through the Inland Empire group?
Well, the first step would be to fill out our candidate questionnaire on our website. It can be found under the elections tab. Then once that's submitted, it gets sent to me, and then I will contact them, have a meeting. Sometimes I'll go out to a meet and greet and talk to local candidates and invite them to fill out the questionnaire if I feel that what they're saying on the stage is good for us, because we are Second Amendment focused.
Mm-hmm.
And then I do some internet research to make sure that they're a viable candidate, talk to them about finances and where they stand on the issue of Second Amendment. And then I bring it to my advisory board. And then my advisory board will vote, giving all the information that I've given them. My advisory will board yay or nay. And then we let them know whether we endorsed them or not. Sometimes they have some more questions, but then we reach back out to the candidate, ask those questions, get them answered, and then we put out our voter guide.
Have you ever had to turn somebody down?
We have. Actually, there has been people who submitted questionnaires that weren't all that great. And then their comments or response when I reached back out to them, why they didn't answer, great, that they're supporting and they're going to go out of their way to support, and they will do everything they can to help support the Second Amendment. It's an insufficient answer if they say that it's anything other than I'm jumping in full feet and I'm going to, help you out. And so then we say, no, it's, sorry, we're probably not the organization that you want to endorse. But then sometimes we do have, maybe they answer one question that isn't great, but they have a really great reason not to. Examples, our last board meeting, we had a candidate that answered that it was regarding the magazine ban, and he said he does not support and will not do anything to oppose the magazine ban. So I reached out and talked to him, and his reasoning was that he said that even though there's a 10-round limit on the mags themselves, there's not a limit on the amount of mags you can carry. So he didn't feel that in itself was a major issue, and that there's numerous other laws and bans that he felt that needed more focus before this one. So I expressed that to my board, and they said, that's a great answer. If it comes down to it and we don't have anything else to fight for, at least we can fight for that. And he would step up then.
All right.
And, so that's kind of where it goes. And we've also had some state people come and say, hey, can you endorse me? And we don't, endorse at the state level, but I do offer the candidates to come out and talk to our members at meetings and events.
Well, wait till you get as big as Michael, not figuratively speaking, because when he turns people down, they get really upset. Like, what do you mean? How come you don't endorse me? I love it. I love it. Sometimes you'll bring him on radio and just kills them. So you're.
I like to turn some of those people over to Michael. Yes.
Oh, he's brutal. He comes across like a big teddy bear, but boy, when he gets his dander up, man, I'll tell you, he scares me sometimes.
It's like I support the Second Amendment, but people like
yeah.
Well, it's like, but we need to do this.
Well, we had a sheriff or a guy running for sheriff that thought the red flag laws were just fine.
Yeah, I have an issue with the red flag
and Michael
laws.
just went sideways on him.
Yeah, when I have to send people to Michael, we usually try to play the good cop, bad cop.
There you go.
One I am.
Well, this is really cute too because I do local television, and that same guy running for sheriff showed up at KUSI, and he goes, "Hey, you're Dave Stahl." I go, "Yeah." He says, "You guys wouldn't endorse me," and I go, "Are you still asking why after what Michael told you?" And then he walked out of the room. He didn't want to talk to me.
Oh, and I think Michael told me that story.
Yeah, it's a great one too, because Michael is just as passionate as you are. In fact, you can't call Michael a Republican or a Democrat or an independent. He don't want to hear it. He's a Second Amendment advocate, and that's what he is.
That's right.
Yeah, he's about as nonpartisan as
anybody I've ever met.
I mean,
and he doesn't care what party you come from, but if you truly believe in your Second Amendment rights and the Constitution,
I guess other than me,
then you're fine.
I think me and him are both. I think me and him, when San Diego County Gun Owners was being formed, I remember he reached out to me because I had been doing things, in the community before, and like I met him, and this guy's amazing. Like, I think he jokes about like the Republicans just like the second worst party.
Yeah, I know. He's brutal. He is absolutely brutal. So, all right, let's see.
Carla, I have a quick question for you.
Yeah, thank you.
Have you ever proactively had to pursue anybody running for office to encourage them or kind of entice them to fill out your questionnaire, or do they really approach you looking for your endorsement?
Oh, yeah.
I would say about 90% of the people that we have on our list, I've had to go and request them to fill out. I've had to kind of not wine and dine them, but go out and pursue them. And tell them what we're about, what we're looking at, what we want in a candidate, and ask them to please fill out the questionnaire.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, there's going to be a time where they're going to come to you. Trust me. I mean, you guys have how long have you guys had this group going? Not even a year, has it?
Well, we've been just over 3 years when it was Riverside and San Bernardino separately.
Oh, okay,
It's
gotcha.
been just over a year that we merged them together. When I came on, I suggested that we merge them together since I was handling both counties.
They have mutual interests up there.
Sure. Yeah. And you might as well do one instead of all these individual ones.
Have you ever gone shooting out Bee Canyon up there?
Yes.
Yeah, that's one of the areas. I used to do cleanups up there too. So
yeah, he's the big cleanup guy. And,
or out in Barstow.
Yeah. In fact, I do another radio show. It's all off-road for the off-road community. Well, the majority of them shoot as well. So I've got San Diego County Gun Owners and San Diego Off-Road Coalition working together on a cleanup. They're going to go do a cleanup and a shoot. So
nothing is as frustrating as when you're going out into the middle of the desert to do some shooting and there's just trash everywhere.
Mountains of garbage.
And it's just tons.
I mean, spent shells and
refrigerators and televisions.
Clean it up.
Yeah, we've been successful here in San Diego, so it's been nice.
We call it pack it in and pack it out.
It's nice when actually the last few years we've gone to cleanups. We've actually, like the first couple years, we filled like 40-yard dumpsters. And then it was one 40-yard dumpster. Then it was like a little tiny dumpster. And now it's like we actually have to go out in the weeds and look for garbage sometimes because there's actually more and more responsible shooters, at least in our area, that keep it at bay. And we're actually working with some groups in the Inland Empire and Imperial that are actually working on stuff. So it's pretty interesting.
Oh, good. Yeah. My husband and I started out as Cub Scout leaders. We were pack master and committee chair for our son's Cub Scout group for about 4 or 5 years.
All right.
And so we were full believers of trash or trash.
Oh,
You
yeah.
bring it in, you pack it
You
out.
bring it in, you bring it out.
Yep,
Exactly.
and pick up extra.
So 3 years, how many people you got in the group?
We have just over 500 people.
Oh, nice.
So that is great.
That's huge, yeah.
Yeah, we have increased over the last year. We've added about 100 people, if not more.
Well, I think it's every time you go to an event and put up a booth, I mean, you
Yes.
sign people up. I think it's because it's just a matter of people getting to know who you are.
Yeah, if you're growing like 20% a year, that's big. That's nice.
Oh, yes. And we have a fantastic tabletop program. We have a gentleman that volunteers nearly every weekend. It's just been recently that we've told him he needs to stay home at least one weekend and spend time with his wife, because he's every Saturday is doing tabletops, sometimes Saturdays and Sundays, and runs the whole program for us. So he is just absolutely amazing.
That is so cool because that's what it takes, you know. And
Yeah.
it just got to chip away at it and chip away at it and chip away at it until all of a sudden you got more than you know what to do
It's
with.
crazy what one really motivated person can do, to where it's like
infectious.
if we just had like 100 motivated people, it's like it's crazy
Right.
what we get accomplished.
Well, it's infectious.
Oh,
Yeah,
absolutely.
and they infect. Yeah, they
I
get
wish
other
I had
motivated
100
people.
like Mike Cook.
Yeah, see, there you go. No, absolutely. All right, so we're talking about your prom.
Yes.
What's the date again?
November 12th at 5 p.m. at March Air Museum.
All right, well, you going to hang with us one more segment?
Absolutely. I'll be here.
Thanks for watching this clip from Gun Owners Radio. You can watch us live every Sunday from 4 to 6 p.m. California time, right here on our YouTube channel, or if you're in the San Diego area, you can listen to us on 1170 a.m. We're also available on your favorite podcast platform for free. Don't forget to like and subscribe so that you can help restore and protect the Second Amendment, not just in California, but across the country.